Hey, it's Kimmy the Gadget Goddess, and it's been a minute, but I want to give you an update on the Huawei Mate XT. I have been enjoying this device thoroughly. I've really been kind of not paying my other devices any attention. I haven't done an update on this phone because life has been busy and just because I've been enjoying it. I haven't really found a lot of things I dislike. So without further ado, let's get into my 4-month update with the Huawei Mate XT. I think it's 4 months, it might be 5, but you know, give or take a month, so I can let you know how everything is going in further detail and answer some of your questions. I have answered a lot of questions in the comments, but I figured some of y'all might want to know as well. If you don't read through the comments, you don't know what those questions were. Decided to film this outside today, but it seems like every 5 seconds a plane is coming by, so my apologies for all the noise. I enjoy the birds and whatnot, but everything else can go somewhere. At any rate, I did say that I was getting cases for this device, and I did. You see, I'm still using the case that came with the phone. I picked up this case, removable magnet, sticks in that one spot, but sometimes you don't want the magnet. I did enjoy the magnet as an extra kickstand, and I typically use this case when I wanted extra protection on the front. I really do like using the front of the phone, so typically if I knew it was going to be in a bag, if I wasn't going to be able to use it as much as I'd like, I use this case. So I still use it, but I have to be in an environment where I know I'm going to be limited in using the trifold to use this case. I'll leave a link in the description. There's nothing really spectacular about this case. There's some extra protection for the camera, and like I said, it's the magnet, which you can see probably supports MagSafe, but I don't even have one of those contraptions in the car to stick my phone on for MagSafe because it gets hot in the south and I don't want my phones overheating. So that's case number 1 that I bought. Case number 2 that I bought. Now this was one of those cases that I bought it. Yeah, I just had an itch and I bought it. How many times have I used it? Maybe once. So it literally has screws in here. You literally attach this to the phone and screw it in to tighten it up. I'll show you pictures. It has that same kind of contraption to where it's going to have a kickstand, but I just didn't feel like it was protected enough, and being I am in the US of A in North Carolina, I felt like if something happened to my phone, I wouldn't be able to get it fixed or replaced quick enough because I do use it as a daily driver and I would miss it if I didn't have it. So that's the second case. Again, I'll leave links in the description for this as well. How is everything holding up? I think I may have received my last update a week ago. It's not to Next OS because I don't want Next OS. It's gonna make my phone a great camera and that's about it. I like having Google Play services, and Next OS would not allow for that as far as I know. You have somebody to work around for that, let me know. I haven't received, and it won't force me into Next. If I don't want Next, I don't have to get Next. I need to replace the screen protector. As I was telling somebody else, with all of my foldables, when the seasons change, when you go from winter to summer, the screen protectors, they expand and contract rather. And so I think I might have some footage of when I replaced it on the Fold 2 after it got cold. I think I came out to shoot a video, opened it up, and it made that cracking sound. Another reason why I layer, and a lot of people say, oh, don't layer, you're gonna break the phone. No, you layer because when I go to pull this one up, the original screen protector will still be there flush to the screen. This matte one, I'll be able to pull right off. And so there's a few bubbles in the middle there just because it's been cold here one day, hot the next. That's what plastic does. It expands, it contracts, and you know. Haven't had many issues on this outer part. This part has stayed flush. It's just that one inner part. And being I don't use the phone open all of the time. Most of the time when I'm using the phone open, I'm watching a video, I'm playing a game, something like that. I'm not walking around, even though I could technically take a phone call with it open. It just doesn't make sense to me to have a phone call on while it's that big. The cameras on this phone are not bad. They just, to me, cannot touch my Xiaomi Flips cameras. That is my favorite phone in my lineup right now. And if you don't happen to know, I carry a lot of phones. I have the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, iPhone 16 Pro Max. Well, I still have the Huawei Mate XT. Either way, I have a lot of phones and a lot of devices. So my favorite camera would be the Xiaomi Flip, followed by the Huawei. I loved Huawei cameras, I always have. Not saying that this camera's bad, it's just something about that Xiaomi camera. It's just wonderful. It takes outstanding pictures. I will leave some pictures that I have taken with this phone in this section of the video. So I wanted to give you some footage from the actual phone. This is in 1080p, 30 frames a second, and this is video. So this is me out here with the elements. Tried to come out today because it was nice. This is the back camera, so I'm gonna switch it and give you some front camera. This is the front facing camera. It's shooting at 4K, 30 frames per second. So, no wide angle with this one. So that's about all I can give you. So I had a change of heart. I filmed some video in the backyard, but I figure I'll go on a bike ride. My bike ain't been out in years. I had to put air in the tires. I'm probably just gonna shoot on video and put that in here. But I am shooting this from the Mate XT. My bike is dirty, dusted, and disgusted, but it should be roadworthy. So we're gonna go for a bike ride, give you some footage, some video, and wrap up this video. Let me see, it was a good idea, but just poorly executed. I get out to do my ride, and I get a battery low at my first stop where I start taking video. I didn't want to be out without means to contact somebody if something happened really far away from my house, although I didn't go too far. I got a nice ride. It's been a while since I rode. One of the questions I received was about palm rejection, and it's gonna really depend on the app. Like if I come into notes, of course, it's gonna do palm rejection for me. Sure, I got this on. Because I had my hand all over here and it's not really doing anything, but yeah, see. So if I'm in the notes app, I assume if you're in a drawing app, I don't really use drawing apps. I usually mostly as like a stylus and maybe to take notes. So for those usage, palm rejection works fine. I would assume that you're using it to draw. And if that's the case, you should be fine. Otherwise, if you're on like just a regular screen, how would it know the difference between my hand and the actual pen? So palm rejection works, I'll say it that way. It works on the apps that it should work on. So that was one of the questions I received. Pen still works fine. If you don't use it for a while, it kind of retains the battery. I haven't touched this pen in a while, and I think when I connected to the Bluetooth, it said 50% or whatnot. Pen's working fine. Another thing I picked up and didn't do a video on just because I wasn't in the mood to do a video was the Samsung Galaxy ring. And so it's here, but it's covered up. Let me take this off. Usually I put a case on everything, but I did hear people were scratching up their rings. I do wear it on my middle finger. It's funny, it can fit all three of these. But yeah, it does work fine with this phone. I've been getting excellent sleep. I got excellent sleep today. That's one of the things I've been working on since changed jobs and things like that, was getting my stress levels down, getting more sleep. And I'm just happy to report that the ring works fine with this phone because it won't work with an iPhone. Jeez, it says I'm at 1%, so I need to charge my ring. It lasts maybe 5 days, 5 to 6 days. Just depends on how active I am and what I have the ring working with. So if you're interested and you wear a Samsung ring, it'll work. So as I pull my charger out to charge that ring because it's about to die. I didn't know it was that low. That's ridiculous. One of the things I do like about the ring is that it can charge without you plugging in the case holds the charge in itself. And while I have my devices or accessories out that my geeky friends like to tease me about, I will say that I do use the Huawei free clips. I do like these because they work with my Huawei Mate XT, but they also connect to my Xiaomi. It connects to both. And when I switch back and forth between the devices, it connects to the device that I'm using at that time. With the free clips, you can switch, like they're sitting in here like this, but if I put them in the opposite ears, they still work. They don't go down in your ear, so they're not as dangerous to, like, they're not as prone to get earwax and things like that down in your ear. So they're kind of healthier for your ears. I still have the ones that came with the phone. This is just the case that's on here. Yes, I put cases on everything. But yeah, these more so go in your ears, can get that wax down in your ear, which is not as healthy. You get a lot of people with ear infections. So when I'm at work, I go with the free clips just because they're free hanging and they just stick in your ear and they don't go down in your ear. And they're not going to have the bass that the ones that came with the phone have. These are better quality. So you came out better with these. I purchased these separately. They're purple. That's those. Charging my Ring. Let's move on. All my banking apps work. All my Google Play services work. I think for the most part I had that one app, which was like Hulu, that I couldn't download in the Play Store because it said it was not compatible. I was checking real time because I'm still getting updates through Aurora for that. Let's see if it says Hulu is still not compatible. Okay, so it still says that Hulu is an app that won't work for me, even though, as you can see, I have Hulu installed and it works fine. I haven't had any issues with it. I can't really speak on anything else. I don't have any issues with any other apps. That's the only one that doesn't show up. Phone calls work great. I do have the phone number that everybody has in another SIM. I forward those calls to this phone on the weekends. I just don't like giving people a whole bunch of different numbers for them to call. Nobody really texts this phone because they don't have this phone's phone number. But no RCS. If that's a question you had, I answered that in another video. It does not work on this phone. So if you are hardcore RCS user, you won't be wanting to get this device. It doesn't have call screening, but it's more like a iPhone situation where it says, hey, this call was sent to your voicemail or this call was blocked, and they'll show you on the screen the number and whatnot, and you can block it so they don't call you back, etc. I think that's pretty much on all Androids these days. I don't see myself upgrading to another regular fold anytime soon. I am in love with the trifold. There were some rumors Samsung might drop a trifold, that they're only dropping like 300,000 of them or so. And if they do that, I would assume that they're only going to be overseas because they have no competition here in the States. So I wouldn't see them dropping that phone over here. And I think we have other issues and concerns and things to do with our money here in the States right now. Like, hold on to it. But at any rate, I'd like to thank you for dropping by the channel, checking out my updated coverage on the Huawei Mate XT. I'm sorry it took me so long to get that information to you. If you've enjoyed this content and are interested in future content on imported devices or things of that nature, feel free to click the subscribe button. Subscriptions are free. Memberships cost, and memberships have privileges. If you'd like to see what those membership privileges are, you can click on the join button. We have members only streams. You get little perks like getting your name and lights during live streams that I have for everybody and things of that nature. I'd like to thank you so much for your time, because time is money, and I hope to catch you on a future video on this channel. Be sure to drop any questions, comments, concerns in the comments section, and I will address those for you as soon as I can. I'll catch you on the next video. Holla!
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long?